Sometimes it sucks being a Philadelphia sports fan. This morning, one of those moments. Free therapy session right here for all of us, including me, after last night's devastating Philadelphia Phillies loss. Training the AM, we're going to help you get through it here. You're going to try to help me get through it. We're live in 30 seconds. And a very somber good morning to everyone. Welcome to Trending in the AM right here on Philadelphia Sports Network. We're live all over social media. This is the number one morning show in Philadelphia, even on a downer day like today. It's the only morning show where your opinions actually matter. Look, I don't know what to tell you today. Hit that like button, that subscribe button, that share button. It costs you nothing to do it. But I would greatly appreciate it. I woke up depressed this morning and I could use the likes and the shares. I even went ahead and changed the color on the bottom of the screen to black because I'm mourning. One of the most epic collapses in Philadelphia sports history. Hell, I bet you this show does the lowest ratings of all time for me. I didn't put any effort into promoting the show. I didn't put any effort into doing a thing because this is not going to be the normal cheerful show. This is not going to be the normal happy-go-lucky fun thing. This is not a happy moment. This is tough when you have one of your teams. It's like the title says. It sucks to be a Philly sports fan. And you know, last night when you have the Phillies go down in Game 7, lose Game 6 and 7. After last year, the Sixers go down in Game 6 and Game 7. It sucks. But we get up and we put our pants right back on and we get right back at it because that's what we are. We're Philadelphia fans. We're passionate. We're over the top sometimes, but, it sucks. And last night's Phillies loss, I like that we're in mourning today. We are in mourning today. I don't like it. I don't want to be in mourning. I was hoping today would be a day of celebration, a day that we are hyped and promoting the World Series Philadelphia Phillies, the back-to-back NL pennant Phillies, but we're not. There's an interesting debate going on social media, and it's what is the most epic collapse in Phillies or in Philadelphia sports history. And let me tell you, this one's got to be up there for me. Like, this has got to be one of the worst collapses in Philadelphia sports history. Bro, I'm so pissed off at Troy. I don't even know if the word's pissed off. I don't even know if I'm pissed off. I think I'm still in a state of shock that we could go up 2-0 in the NLCS, 2-0 in the series, and lose in 7. The first Game 7 in the history of the Philadelphia Phillies' 140-plus year history. The first Game 7 ever, and we lost it. I don't think I'm pissed. I think I'm still in shock. I think I'm still stunned that this even happened. I know all the players are saying the right thing. It's on me. It's on me. Like, they're all taking blame and stuff. It's on them all. They all came up small these last 2 games, which is funny because, the most recent collapse before last night was our Philadelphia 76ers losing in the second round again last year. And you didn't see any of the Philadelphia 76ers taking blame, trying to shoulder any of the blame. Pretty much every Phillies player that talked last night after the game took blame for the collapse. Every single one of them. Yet you never saw that out of Philadelphia. And I bring up Philadelphia in it because, yes, the Philadelphia Sixers season starts tomorrow. Hold on, Phil. I'm getting my coffee. I'm going to be drinking a lot of coffee today. This is going to be one of those unhealthy coffee days for me, without a shadow of a doubt. Because I don't know, it's going to be tough. On a positive note, if you want to be positive, there's I can get my sleep schedule back onto a normal schedule because I don't have to stay up late for Phillies games anymore. They're going to trash us on Twitter. Who's going to trash us on Twitter? I don't know who's going to trash who, but there's no need to be trashing anybody on Twitter or anywhere. Um, all we got to do is just realize that this Phillies team was flawed. I saw something interesting on Twitter just before we went live. It's from John Kincaid, morning show host of on the Fanatic, I believe. I don't know if he's actually working right now because I know he's got cancer and struggling. But he put out a tweet last night after the game, and there's one line that really, really got me. Outplayed, outmanaged, no excuses, Phillies. The better team won. The things you don't do well all season matter. A lot of the problems the Phillies faced in this series were problems that they faced all year long. Slumping teams, striking out too much, swinging at pitches out of the zone, cold streaks, bad bullpen issues, no depth. All the problems we had all year, they got exposed in the playoffs by let's just be honest. I don't want to take anything away from Arizona Diamondbacks. They beat us fair and square. They're not a better team. They're just not. We just got exposed for being a joke of a team, I guess. But that line really got me when I read his tweet this morning. Things you didn't do well all season matter. And all the things that went wrong in the last two games were all problems that we had all year long. Just like the Sixers. It's so like the Sixers season. Coming up small. But is this the most epic collapse? Some people say the 2011 Phillies loss in the wild card to the Cardinals was. A lot of Eagles fans will say the Joe Jurevicius Buccaneers game. That would be the most epic collapse. There's so many epic. Being like the title says, it sucks being a sports fan when we have so many options to choose from as the most epic collapse in Philadelphia sports history. That's what makes being a Philadelphia sport. We have so many choices. I can't do a 4-poll question on what is the most epic collapse because there are so many of them. I barely can come up with 4 Phillies epic collapses you know, to make a poll with because there's so many Phillies epic collapses. It's frustrating. It really, really is being a Philadelphia sports fan. You didn't rearrange the jerseys, dude. Sorry, Marshawn. Went to work. I even closed my pizza shop 30 minutes early so I can get home in front of the TV early to not miss a pitch of the game last night. And then I literally went right to bed. I was down. I didn't have time. I will get the jerseys rearranged sometime. Maybe tonight. I'm supposed to be done fairly early tonight. Maybe when I'm setting up tomorrow's show, I'll think of it. I don't know. Right now, I'm not worried about the jerseys. Right now, I don't even want to see a Phillies jersey hanging right there. Right now, I want to take all those Philly fatheads off the wall and Jim Tomey's face and Roy Halladay and the fanatic. Get the fanatic out of here. I can't. I can't right now with the Phillies. I can't. Was rooting for the Phillies. What happened? What happened? They lost last night. They are done. Their season is over, and we're here to cry about. This is a therapy session for you guys, but it's also a therapy session for me. I know you're not all. I know you're not all Phillies fans, and a lot of you come here for Eagles takes on a daily basis. But just think about it, man. Like, just think about how us diehard Phillies fans. Just think about how broken we are as fans. It truly, truly sucks to be a Phillies fan, my man. Look, we're all deflated today. I don't know if you can, like. I don't even want to have like. I can hear in my own voice through the earpods how down I like. I don't have any energy. I have no positive feelings whatsoever this morning. Like, I honestly thought when my alarm went off this morning, I thought about hitting snooze and skipping the show because I just don't even feel like doing like we're 10 minutes through this show already, and I don't even know how I'm going to get through 90 minutes. I just don't. I don't. Bro, we lost the World Series and Super Bowl and the MLS championship game, and then the Sixers lost in the second round of the playoffs, and now this. I don't know how much more I could take of this shit. Troy, that sums up 99% of Philadelphia fans feelings at this moment, and it sums up what it's like to be a Philadelphia sports fan. This is about the Phillies, but this is about all sports in Philadelphia. Good things just don't happen. There's a reason that the Philadelphia is. Just think of it this way, guys. Philadelphia is one of the biggest sports markets in the United States of America. One of the top 5. Chicago, Boston, New York, Philly, LA. In whatever order you want to put them. Biggest sports market. And we have so few championships in our history. Why? Because bad things happen to us. And I don't know why I kind of think we're good people. I think we're good fans. We're passionate fans. We're caring fans. Yet good things just don't happen to us. The last year we lost 3 championships. And then this year, so much hope to get back for them all. I'm telling you, the Sixers season better be good. The Eagles better not disappoint us, or we're going to have some serious problems. There's going to be riots in this city, for sure. Condolences. K1, you are probably the happiest person in the world, K1, because this is the last time you're going to have to hear me talk Phillies baseball for a while. The last time. You are probably the happiest man alive. Bills will break your heart, but Philly teams keep march all the way to the victory. And yeah, something like that. I can't even read that one. My eyes aren't working here. I watched every second of that game and was thoroughly disappointed. It's a Phillies thing. Marshawn, I watched every pitch, edge of my seat. Like I said, I even closed the pizza shop up 30 minutes early so I can get home for first pitch. We closed at 8. I closed up at 7:30. Didn't want to miss a pitch. The man, heart ripped out from me again. It sucks being a Philly sports fan, but it really sucks being an Eagles or Phillies fan. Oh man, I promise I watched most of it, but the series was tied. Yeah, it was tough. It's tough. That's what I'm saying. It's not just the Phillies. It doesn't just suck being a Phillies fan. It sucks being an Eagles fan, a Flyers fan, a Sixers fan, a Union fan. Probably sucks being a USFL Philadelphia Stars fan. I mean, we lose far too often in this city. We lose in big moments far too often in this city. I'm curious how and when the Eagles will disappoint us. I mean, I hope not. I hope not. But with our track record in our city, it's bound to happen, right? I mean, we get disappointed in the city too often. What do we got to do to not get disappointed? That's why the world will come together to trash us on Twitter. Because we're a bunch of losers. That's why. As a Bills fan, take this cope. 31 of 32 teams fail and collapse each year. Yeah, I've heard that mindset many a times in my life. Only one team can win the title in whatever sport you're talking about. I know. I know. But when you're the better team and your team just shits the bed, because that's what the Phillies did last night. I mean, I got the box scores up here. Kyle Schwarber, 1 of 3. Turner, 0 for 4. Harper, 0 for 4. Nick Castellanos, 0 for 4. Like, that's not good. You got 5 hits in a game, in a winner-go-home game, at home in front of 45,000 of your fans, and you got 5 hits last night. It's tough. It's tough. It is so tough. Harper wore a Sixers jersey to the game yesterday. Bad juju. Yeah, it's kind of like, and Castellanos wore a Jordan jersey yesterday. It's kind of like a little of that, juju of the Sixers got pushed onto us last night. And look, tomorrow's the opening of the season for the Sixers in Milwaukee. We're going to do a Sixers preview show tomorrow. I got some of the Philadelphia Sports Network writers, coming on the show to talk Sixers tomorrow. We'll try. If the Phillies would have won tonight, tomorrow's show hyping up the Sixers season would have probably been fun and energetic. But I have a feeling that tomorrow's show is going to be a down in the dump show. Because I'm still going to be feeling this way. We're not going to talk Phillies tomorrow, but I'm still going to feel this way. The Sixers got some bad juju all over them. And it kind of bled into the Phillies this year. Rob Thompson reminds me of Andy Reid when he was here, stubborn to a fault, but determined to do it their way at the cost of losing championships. Bobby, thank you for tuning in this morning. I hope you're, well. Look, you're spot on with this comparison. I'm even going to write it down. because I think it's raw. I think it's spot on. I have to write it down because that'll be a good tweet. I'll give Bobby Murphy some credit for it on Twitter. Look, it is last night. I mean, how many times did he make mistakes last night, Bobby? I mean, not bases loaded, 2 outs, and you've got Rojas, Johan Rojas, or whatever. I don't even want to know his name anymore. Up at the plate in a big moment, the guy has one hit all play. Like the guy can't hit in the playoffs. He's outmatched in the playoffs. Instead of pinch hitting him for a guy that's actually got some power to drive the ball and maybe get some of those runs home, you leave him in there. Warming up guys in the third or fourth inning, just let Ranger Suarez pitch. You know, so many decisions last night, so poorly done. And Rob Thompson, I've come around on him. He's not my favorite manager in Phillies history, but he's grown on me. But man, I go back to what I said. The mistakes all year were the same mistakes last night. What John Kincaid said, and it's so true. All the issues last night, whether it was the players or the coaching, were things we've complained about all year. All year. We just can't win championships, man. I did a show. I don't know, Troy, if you were watching that show like a month or two ago. Like I did the math on every championship in this city. It's not many. The Phillies got 2. The Phillies are one of the original baseball teams. They've been around over 140 years. They're the first franchise to lose 10,000 games, 11,000 games. I think they're at 12,000 losses already. First franchise in the history of sports. They got 2 championships. Terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. I meant when in the playoffs this year, Judd, such an empty feeling. Yeah, I mean, look, this is therapy. I mean, I got my power rankings for the NFL on here. We could talk about that later. We could get into some Eagles later, but I want to spend time just grieving over this Phillies loss as much as possible. But man, it's just an empty feeling this morning. Sixers are doggy dung. The process might be the most epic collapse. See, the thing is, the process isn't over, so I can't tell you that. I can't. I might have to put some sunglasses on so you can't see my bloodshot eyes here, guys. Don't need to see my bloodshot eyes. I wasn't tearing up, but some other things made my eyes bloodshot this morning. I was listening to the AFC East roundtable, and a Dolphins fan went to Eagles game, and let's just say got messed up. I don't really feel like talking football this morning. Not yet, Mad Chatter. I'm just not ready for it. Harden sits for the year, and Ben Simmons puts up 18, 10, and 8. So that would be one sucky ass thing. And we'll get into James Harden tomorrow. James Harden's new rumor isn't he's getting traded. He's going to retire if he doesn't get traded. Like, who cares, honestly, at this point with him? Sucks being a Philly sports fan, but I never learn. It is like a drug. Being a Philly sports fan is an addiction. It's like a drug. It's an addiction, without a shadow of a doubt. Because no matter how many times we get disappointed, no matter how many times we get kicked down and kicked in the groin, we get back up. If we make the playoffs next year, 45,000 plus will be packing the bank again, spending $400, $500 a ticket. There's no doubt about it. The Eagles game will be jumping. The Sixers have disappointed us how much, over the years. And home opener, what's it? Saturday, I think it's the home opener. Sunday, whatever. The Wells Fargo Center will be packed. We're suckers. We are literally suckers, Philadelphia sports fans. It's a drug. It's an addiction. And I don't know if I'll ever get over the addiction of being a Philly sports fan. I know I haven't learned how to cope with these disappointments, and about to be 43 in about 7 weeks, and I've been disappointed a lot in my lifetime. But it is what it is. Hey, it's better to get to the NLCS than finish last place. Yeah, the problem is, K1, it's not losing in Game 7 of the NLCS, it's how you lose. It's the fact that you're up 2-0. It's the fact that Garrett Stubbs, the backup catcher, and I know you don't know the Phillies as well, so maybe you don't know who Garrett Stubbs is. Backup catcher didn't have one at-bat in the playoffs because, backup catchers just don't get at-bats in the playoffs. But after Game 2, or Game 3 or something like that, he made a statement that when we win the NLCS here in Arizona, Game 4 or 5, we're going to go swimming in their pool because the Diamondbacks have a pool in their outfield for the fans. Like a little pool party thingy. Like, talking about jinxing the thing. Um, you know, the key hitters on this team 0 for their last 22 or 0 for their last 32, whatever it was. I don't know when the last time Harper, Turner, or Castellanos actually got a hit. It's how you do it. It's okay to lose to a better team. It's okay to lose to a lesser team. It's not okay to lose in that situation the way they did it. So all three team marched right to victory finish line, and they dot dot dot. I don't know. Especially considering how the Phillies look. I mean, the Phillies looked good this year. I mean, they looked bad at times, and they looked good. They were in the first couple rounds of the playoffs, the wild card, the NLDS. They were as dominant as they come. You couldn't muster a few runs together last night. More than 5 hits. You need a better right fielder. Rojas is our center fielder. And he's young. Rojas was in Double A like 3 months ago. It's just too big of a moment for him. I know he's got great defense, but the guy can't hit a beach ball yet consistently. And Rojas will be the starting center fielder next year. And by the playoffs next year, he'll be a better player, a more experienced player. That doesn't get me over last night. And the fact that you let him bat with the bases loaded, takes a pitch right down the middle, swings at a pitch at his head, and then pops up. Go watch the show from a few months ago, how we were talking about the Phillies. I think they did well. Yeah, you have to find which show we're talking about, but yeah, I wasn't high on the Phillies this year, for sure. Stinks at batting. Yeah, Rojas, he's just inexperienced. He's young. There's a thing there. There's always the Flyers. Hey, look, the Flyers are 3-2. They lost last night. The Flyers scored just as many goals as the Phillies scored runs last night in a meaningless game in Las Vegas. They're 3-2. The Flyers actually, I've watched 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there games this year so far. A few games. They actually look okay, considering it's a rebuilding year. We had multiple chances to put them away, and every single time we came up short. This feeling never gets old, fam. Yeah, I mean, um, like you guys are on fire with the comments here. Like this is like comments like this. This we're talking about the Phillies here, Marshawn, with this comment, but you could just copy and paste this to the Sixers last season, the Eagles in the Super Bowl. You know, pretty much this comment could just be copy and pasted for the next 20 years because it's just so repetitive how we do. How do we think Phil feel? Phil. Phillies were good content. Look, the Phillies are bad content today because this is not a pleasant experience doing this show this morning. I'm pissed off to listen to the show today. I'm sorry, Troy. You're pissed off to listen to it. I'm depressed doing it. I got a pit in my stomach, an upset stomach this morning. It might be from all the Jack Daniels I drank last night, but it might be also because of the Phillies loss. So on top of being down in the dumps today, I'm also hung the hell over. And I gotta go to work as soon as the show's over. I'm pissed. I'm depressed. I don't know if I'm pissed yet, honestly. I don't know if I'm pissed. I'm just I'm not at the piss stage yet, Troy. I'm more at the down in the dump stage. I'm more at the I can't believe I'm still in a state of shock to an extent. So much for home field advantage. Marshawn, another solid point right here. So much for it. And that crowd, game 6, the crowd kind of seemed like it was off. The juju was off a little bit in game 6 from the crowd. That crowd was fire last night. They were there. They were loud in the bottom of the ninth inning. That was all on the players. The home field advantage was there. The players didn't capitalize on it. I hate this coffee cup. It's my biggest cup. It holds so much coffee, but it's so hard to pick up. I'm worried I'm going to drop it right here live on the show. Phil needs reading specs. I do. It's also my eyes are a little bloodshot this morning too. It doesn't help. You close down. I closed the pizza shop 30 minutes early to not miss a pitch. I'm done with Joel and his I'm 1 foot out the door media threats. Yeah, we'll get into the Joel Embiid media threats more detailed tomorrow. Let me tell you something. He did not. Those rumors to the Knicks. That's not Joel. That's not the Sixers. That's Knicks media, Knicks podcasters, Knicks social media people stirring the pot. It's not happening, especially for what that report was yesterday. So I'm not worried about that yet. Actually, let's not talk about the Flyers. They blew a two. Did they blow a 2-goal lead? I don't know how. I just saw the box score this morning that they lost 3-2. So they blew a lead last night. That's disappointing to hear. That's what a young, inexperienced rebuilding team does, though. The Phillies blew a 2-0 series lead, and they were one of the favorites to win the World Series. Sports is definitely a drug and addiction. It really is, man. It really is. Phil's ripped my heart out in the seventh last night. The seventh inning. That was the seventh inning is when you had Harper. I forget which inning was the seventh inning? Anyway, whatever. They ripped my heart out all night. They did. And then they stomped on it and they did circle dances all around it. Hockey season, it's hockey season. It is. I could stop anytime I want, me, in a crooked Kelly Green jersey. Basically. I mean, we just can't help ourselves. Loving the Phillies is like loving your recovering drug addict cousin who relapsed on Christmas and stole your TV. I mean, I didn't have one of those cousins, so I don't. I didn't firsthand experience that. Maybe you did. I don't know. But man, that's hilarious to say the least. Um, Phil got to see a Super Bowl victory in his life. Shout out to Nick Paul. I did. I've seen a World Series victory in 2008. I actually cried when the Phillies won the World Series in '08 because it meant that much to me. I think I had a minor heart attack when the Eagles won the Super Bowl. Maybe I'm not positive. Um, Good point. Lots of Phillies fans never get to see the Eagles win. Look, we've only won one Lombardi Trophy. We've only won 2 World Series trophies. We've only won 2 NBA trophies. 2, 1 NBA trophy in my lifetime, at least. A couple Stanley Cups, but that was before I was born in the '70s. Us people, anybody that was born in 1980 or after, we haven't had much to cheer about in our life. My whole adult life, I thought I was rooting for these underdog Phillies teams. Now I realize just picking losing horses every time. Yeah, maybe there's a little bit to that. You know, maybe the thing is maybe we do better when we're the underdog team. We weren't the underdogs last. We weren't the underdogs this series. And maybe we don't play as well when we're the front runners. Maybe we got to be the underdog. The underdog mentality. In the seventh inning, we had 2 on base and 1 out, and we really need to Turner to do something. Okay, the seventh was the Turner strikeout. I think it was a strikeout or a pop up. I remember the at bat. It was just terrible. And he was quoted after the game as saying he didn't think they would throw him a strike, so he was thrown off by the way they pitched him. Like Trey Turner, great baseball player. And I know he came on after the standing ovation this year, but Trey Turner is one of the most disappointing big name free agent signings we've ever had because he's so talented. He's so much better than what he's shown. He was. So I know. I mean, that was the best Super Bowl I ever saw, and watching Eagles beat Brady was amazing. It was. I feel really taking this hard. Look, look. We still got an hour to go. It's only 8:30 here. I don't know how I'm going to do another hour, guys. I won't lie. This might be one of those shows that we shorten it up a little bit, or maybe you guys carry me to the end and carry me to the finish line. But this is tough for me. It really is. It's tough. It really like I feel worse doing this morning show than I did the day after losing the Super Bowl last year. Like I do. Because at least there was some fight in the Eagles last year. I feel worse now than when the Sixers lost because we knew the Sixers were going to blow it. We didn't know. Like this is a little over the top. Thank you. I appreciate it. Um, I appreciate it, man, Chatter. I do. I'm trying. I'm trying to get through this here. I am. We left so many abandoned on base. The Phillies looked like a deadbeat. Man, guys, keep letting them have it. Keep letting the Phillies have it. Get it all off your chest. This is a therapy session. I don't even know what the Phillies go from here to do. Like the Phillies have so much money already on the payroll for next year. They still have holes too. Like, what do you do? What do you do with Reese Hoskins? What do you do with Aaron Nola? You got to find a closer. You got to make a decision on Rob Thompson. Is he the guy going forward? You got to make a decision. Is Bryce Harper going to stay at first or go back to the outfield? In my mind, I want to find a way to trade Kyle Schwarber. Not knocking on Kyle Schwarber totally. Just saying maybe we need something better there. Like there's so many things um, to talk about with just the team itself. But they've already spent so much money. Like, what do you do? My man Jason Voorhees put out on Facebook last night that he thinks Mike Trout will be the big addition that changes things. I don't want Mike Trout here, honestly, at this point. I don't know what to do. I don't. So it's going to be an interesting offseason for this Phillies team. I know a guy who's still in a bad way after the Eagles lost. There's a lot of people that are. There is. Phillies, big bats cost us a series game 3, 6, and 7. Just like the Sixers, big guns cost us game 6 and 7. It's tough. It's really, really tough. The Eagles had the best week 6 as their only 5-1 NFC team to not lose, but that doesn't matter because we keep dude, I'll say one thing. I never want to hear that freaking song "Dancing on My Own" again. I'm done with it. Get that song, throw it in the trash bin. Whatever that guy's name is that sings it. I know he was talking about how he had 1 billion, listens of it or plays on it online. Whatever. I don't care. I never want to hear that song again. And I'll be honest with you, I've got a "Dancing on My Own" T-shirt. It was to support the rescue where we get some of our dogs from, and I will never wear it out in public again. I might wear it to bed or something like that, but it'll never be seen in public again. I'm over it. I don't want to hear that song ever again. Fox's Pizza Den merch and mug. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. Catch up on some of these comments here. I have to give respect to Wheeler. That man, dude, mad respect to Zach Wheeler. Pitching, going out there and throwing, what was it, 25, 30 pitches? How many pitches did he throw? 30 pitches last night, and he did well, man. Mad power to him. I think next year's the last year on this deal, but he is the ace of this team, man, without a shadow of a doubt. I just noticed the color scheme. Dude, I said it, you missed the first 2 minutes of the show, K1, probably, because I did say at the beginning, I'm down. This is a dark time. I'll go back to green tomorrow. But right now, it's dark. We had to go black because I am in mourning. Philadelphia sports fans, even non-Philadelphia Phillies fans, if you're just a Philadelphia sports fan, you get behind the Phillies in the playoffs. And it's a dark time, man. So dark time equals dark colors. I wore a black shirt today. I got black colors on the screen. It's how I'm feeling. I'm feeling dark today. I never want to hear that "Dancing on My Own" song. It's not an easy thing to do because it's a fire song. I don't even like the song really. If the Phillies hadn't adopted it last year, I probably never would have even taken notice of the song. I'm done. Done. Don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it anymore at all. I got something else I don't want to see anymore, but let me catch up on some comments. I think they trade Nick before Schwarbs. Maybe Nick Castellanos is a little bit more flexible, can actually field. Schwarber, I don't know. I thought about it when we were talking about trading for Otani at the deadline, that maybe include Schwarber for them to get some offense back. And I thought about that there, the life after Kyle Schwarber. Both Schwarber and Castellanos only signed 4-year deals. They've been here 2 years. So I don't know. Maybe they try to trade one of them to bring the Phillies need contact hitters, guys that don't strike out, guys that get base hits with runners in scoring position. 1 of 10 with runners in scoring position last night. Lots of guys left on base. They need They can't just have a lineup full of home run hitters and guys that swing for the fences all the time. So they need to move on from one of them. Do the Phillies even have a farm system? All the studs seem to be free agents. They have some good young talent. Rojas came up from the farm system this year, and he did well except for the end. They've got some stud starting pitchers. One of them, Andrew Painter, just had Tommy John surgery. So he was supposed to be a part of this team and big part of the team in the postseason, and he ended up with Tommy John surgery in July. So now not only did we not see him this year, we won't see him next year either. Mick Abel should probably be in the rotation next year. There's some arms. The bats not so much, but there's not many spots on this team anybody. Is Nola a Philly next year? He needs to be, probably because if you don't sign Aaron Nola, there ain't Joe. I don't know if you've looked, but there ain't no free. Aaron Nola is going to be a very expensive pitcher this offseason. He's probably the best free agent starting pitcher on the market this year because Otani can't throw for the next year or so. Um, so he's going to cost a lot of money. But who else are you going to put there? If Andrew Painter didn't get hurt and was going to be a starter in the rotation next year, I'd say maybe not. But the Phillies are going to have to overpay Aaron Nola. Saw somebody say like 3 years and 60 million. I just laughed. I'm like, yeah, right. Um, it's such a Philly thing to make a song about going home alone. I don't even know what the song is about. I've never actually read the lyrics, so I don't know. I hate sports, Freddie. We all do, man. We all do. It sucks this morning, man. It does. I thought the Phillies had like excellent prospects. They had bad prospects during the pre-Harper era. Clentac and McPhail, our GM and president, really torched our farm system. Really missed on a lot of first round picks, but they've been rebuilding it and they've been getting better. Um, they've got some good guys now down there. Problem is, they're just not great. There's not a lot of blue chip, can't miss prospects outside of Andrew Painter, who we're not going to see till 2025. Good morning, Eric. It's an okay morning, not a good morning. Do your outta here. Your best inner. Oh no, I thought you meant Harry Styles. Outta here. You out of here. Whatever. It don't even matter honestly at this point. I don't even like baseball, and the Phils got me sucked in. How did? Yeah, I mean, at least you can get over it quicker. Me, I watch every single game all year long. Balance in the force. We can't win World Series in the Super Bowl. The world would end. We are Philadelphia for crying out loud. Everybody hates us, and we don't care, but we do care. Maybe that's part of it, Eric. Eric, today might be a good day to tell you I was in Regency Park Apartments when I was a baby. Phil going goth. No, I wouldn't go goth. I'm a little down in the dumps. We'll just leave it at that. Phil has the emo Jimmy Butler vibes. Maybe. I got something vibing right now. I'm not sure what. It's been a rough few days. It has been. It has been. Being a Phillies sports fan is not easy. Not the breakfast bunch. Tell Liam to relax. Yes, Eric. That's what's up. I want to make sure I have to take a. Geez. Liam will probably have some intestinal issues tonight. Yeah, that boy, man. He needs some. He's eating wherever Joel Embiid does too much. The messed up thing in this city will demand so much from Maxi. I hope he doesn't lose his smile. HBK style. That's a fair point. In the '90s, bro, Christmas is coming. We'll talk. Um, let's fire through. I want to talk about something. I want to bring something up, but I'm just gonna star some of these comments. This is more like a black hole sun today. Yes, this is. Phil, really bummed. I am. This is what happened. Judd and Eric are father and son. That's so funny if that would be true. And I brought father and son together on the show. It made me smile at least. Um, I say I don't want to hear that dancing on my own song ever again. I do not. Do not. Can I block a song on Sirius XM that it never pops up? I don't know. What I also don't want to see is the freaking fraternity parties in the locker room after every single playoff win. Is anybody else annoyed that maybe they just weren't a little weren't focused enough? I mean, like after a wild card round victory, doing keg stands after the NLDS, like act like it's not like this is the first time most of these guys were here last year. We don't need to be partying like it's 1999. It ain't New Year's Eve, and they're throwing parties every single game like it's World Series champions. Act like you've been there. Act like professionals. Realize that there's a bigger job ahead. I do not want to see Brandon Marsh doing keg stands in the wild card round. I don't want to see champagne bottles all over Rob Thompson after the NLDS round. Save it for the World Series victory. I'm so sick and tired of the partying. I understand they want to have fun. It's great. I understand that the fans fire them up and make them want to party. Great. I love the team camaraderie. Great. But just as much as I don't want to hear that song ever again, I don't want to see partying from guys that have been there, done that before, when there's a bigger goal and objective at hand. So sick and tired. I saw somebody call it, it's not a locker room, it's a fraternity house at Citizens Bank Park with the Phillies. And it really got me because I'm like, you know what? Spot on. I want the partying to end. I want it to end. I want the championship and then the party. I don't want the partying. That Stott song. Yeah, I mean, look, I love it. It's kind of for the wrestling fans that songs are more over than the wrestlers sometimes. Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, to name a few. A Stott song, everybody sing it. That's like the cool thing to do. Sing songs for wrestlers, for athletes, whatever. I don't want to hear that. Stott needs a new song next year. In fact, I don't want to even hear walk-up songs anymore, period. Done. I'm over. Can't take it anymore. Cannot take it. Major League Baseball pop bubbly way too much, and they have shitty ass beer and Budweiser that they're forced to pop. Like really, like I'm over it. Like I don't need bubbly being popped after winning the wild card round. That's not the goal. Good stuff. Yeah, I was not annoyed to now portraying test in the locker room. I heard him say he did interesting stuff here, guys. The aftermath of team building exercise. Yeah, I was Phil. I was inboxing you on Facebook. You inboxed my Fox's page, and I got it. I just haven't gotten a chance to. I checked out the show, the first one you sent me. I didn't see what else you sent me yet. I low key like dashing Cody Rhodes along song than his new one. I mean, his new song is great. I mean, it's a sing along. It's exciting. Let me tell you something. For the wrestling fans out there, his song is more over than he is. And when I go to WrestleMania, I'm going to be there doing the I'm going to be doing it with everybody else. Sure. But let me tell you something. It's annoying. The Stott song. I'm over it. I'm done. I don't want to see the partying after every victory anymore. Act like professionals. That's right. I mean, it's one thing if it was a team, a ragtag team that had never done like the '93 Phillies. No one expected the '93 Phillies to do what they did. They're a bunch of they were a bunch of beer drinking, fat, softball beer league guys that made it to the World Series. Sure. If you're a bunch of rookies that have never done it, sure. But 90% of this team was here last year. Harper, Schwarber, Marsh, Castle. None of them need to celebrate. The goal was to get back to the World Series and win it, not to win the wild card round. Like I don't get it, and I'm tired of it, and I don't want to hear it. I want a more professional locker. I want to keep the focus laser on what the goal is, which is to win the goddamn World Series, not the wild card round. There's 2, maybe 3 times you could celebrate. When you clinch your playoff berth, sure, let off a little steam, 162 game season long. Maybe when you win the NLCS, which we didn't do, and when you win the World Series. They're the only 3 times a baseball team should celebrate. And if you pitch a no-hitter, a perfect game, you wanna have a little party after the game, that's fine. It was a cringe song last night. I was thinking I bet Phil annoyed. I mean, I like the song until it actually, ended the season, and now I don't. Um, I bet you this WrestleMania in Philly will disappoint us too. I'm sure it will, but I'm not paying to go. I got free tickets. So, it is what it is. Um, touch 'em up, Joe. Um, yeah, right. If they won, Phil would be singing that cringe song right now. I would be. It would be. It's totally different, though. Totally different. Purdy screwed me. I lost 3 points because he doesn't wanna oh, man. We're talking football now. We're back to football. That's the point, TMC. We lost everything sucks right now. Absolutely. Absolutely, it sucks right now. Tomorrow, I'll be back to positive. I'll be hyping it up and pretending like I think the Sixers have a chance tomorrow. I will. I will. Is Rob Thompson on the hot seat? I mean, he's been on my hot seat since the moment he took over. But yeah, I think you got to at least have the discussion. First, you have to have a discussion. Does Rob Thompson want to come back? He's going into the last year of his deal. Major League Baseball managers don't ever have lame duck situations. Are the Phillies going to extend him or fire him, or is he going to retire? He was close to retiring before the 2022 season. Does he even want to do it anymore? I don't know. I would put it 50-50 that Rob Thompson is not the manager of this team next year. So hopefully, you know, if it's not, if something changes. I hope. What's up, Garrett? Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you hit that like button and share button. In the words of Jalen Hurts, keep the main thing the main thing. Yeah, the Phillies didn't do that. They took the eye off the ball. They didn't take care of business. And it's the problem. Partly the manager, partly the players, partly everybody. Everybody's to blame. There is no one person. I will give the Phillies credit. Almost every single Philly that I heard a comment from after the game took full accountability for the loss. We'll see if they learn from it next year. But every single Philly that I heard talk took blame. Trey Turner took blame. Kyle Schwarber took blame. Bryce Harper absolutely took blame. So, you know, and kind of following up with I have no faith in the Sixers 2023. Dude, there's not much. Um, my DSM fam are not online today. I don't play them. I'm part of the DSM fam. I was. I'm sure they're not doing their shit this morning. I'm sure they're all like they're not as, you know, they can't wake up hungover like I can. They don't drink as much coffee as I do either. We are mowing through the stages of grief here. We are. There's no doubt about it. This is a show full of grief. Like I titled the show, "It Sucks to Be a Philadelphia Sports Fan." Sometimes, and when I shared it out on Twitter, X, whatever the show, I put, "This is a free therapy session for everybody. Let's get the disappointments, not just the Phillies disappointments. Get all the disappointments off your chest. Back to the power of positivity tomorrow, but not today. We are going to be in it all day long. Feeling anger last night was denial. I'm denial. I'm anger, I'm depression, sadness. Um, Next step is acceptance. I'm not ready to accept it. Not even close to ready to accept it, man, Chatter. Not even remotely. We are far too familiar with this for sure. Phil is making great progress in his session. I'm making progress on myself. That's the first thing. I got to fix myself before I can fix you guys. For sure. Kittle, Smith, Miles, and Sutton for K. Bourne, Zach Moss, St. Brown, and Packers D. I'm too depressed right now to really think about this and break it down. Is that Devontae Smith? Maybe. Depends on the rest of the team. I would probably lean towards the Kittle side of that trade if that's Devontae Smith. Depends on a lot of other aspects, but yeah. We're all too familiar with losing. We are? When is bargaining? What's bargaining? What are we bargaining on? I don't even know what we're bargaining on. 2 years in a row, our big money guys didn't show up. Exactly. And not just for the Phillies, and the Sixers. We've just constantly let down by our big money guys. Constantly. That's a damn shame. Somebody's got to look in the mirror and say something. Do something. Pound harder, Harden scooters. Harden, man. We'll be getting to Harden a lot tomorrow. Phil and Jim Beam. I don't drink Jim Beam. I drink Jack Daniels. Just so you know, Gentleman Jack last night. NBA GMs forgot what a trade offer looks like. Um, yeah. Session. How did that make you feel? Um, I don't feel. It's Devontae Smith. Yeah, then the kill Devontae Smith side is the better side in my opinion. Devontae Smith's going to start having some breakout games here soon, without a shadow of a doubt. So it is what it is. We're gonna take the 9 a.m. pause time here at 10 of 8:50 in the morning, just in case I call it quits early because I don't know how much more of this denial, depression, therapy session I can do. But you're watching Trending in the AM right here on Philadelphia Sports Network. We got 12 likes only on YouTube, only 2 on Facebook. Hit that like button, hit that share button. Help more people find this therapy session because everybody in Philadelphia right now needs this therapy session. So make sure you hit that like button, that share button. I greatly appreciate it. I am Phil Stiefel, your host. Make sure you follow me on all social media platforms at Bearded Knowledge. I appreciate that as well. Look, guys, where does this Phillies collapse, not just last night's loss, but the collapse of the series as a whole, rank in the disappointments of Philadelphia sports? Obviously, the 2011 Phillies, 102 wins. Roy Halladay, Cliff Lee, Cole Hamels, Roy Oswalt as your starters. You have Utley, Howard, Rollins still on the team. Carlos Ruiz, Shane Victorino, and get knocked out in the first round by the Cardinals. That's going to be one of the big sticking points, and everybody points to that. The Joe Juravicious, Tampa Bay Buccaneers beating the Eagles. Is that bigger? The Sixers last year. The Sixers the year before that. The Sixers the year before that. The Eagles in the Super Bowl against the Patriots years ago. I don't know if last year's Eagles loss in the Super Bowl was that big of a disappointment. I mean, it was a disappointment, but not that big. Where does it rank? I mean, in the stage of grief I'm at right now, it's the biggest disappointment ever. But I don't know 5 weeks from now, 5 years from now, if I'll think of it the same. But honestly, this was a big money, big ticket team that collapsed at the end. So I think people are underrating how big of a deal them collapsing to a pennies on the dollar Arizona Diamondbacks team, losing game 6 and 7, being up 2-0 in the series, and then losing the series, losing 4 of their last 5 games to lose the series. It's a pretty big deal. Bargaining is a stage of grief. Oh, is it? I'm not really a therapist. I'm just pretending to play one on YouTube today. You hold on to hope in a situation of intense pain. You might think to yourself that. That's interesting. I don't really know anything about therapy. I don't really know anything about depression, so I don't know. Jack Dang got good to be hanging with you. Me and Jack Daniels are very good friends. I didn't see the Jack Daniels stage on the Kubler Ross stages of grief. It is one of my coping mechanisms for sure, and it was on sale last week at the liquor store, so I bought quite a bit of it. It's not in the top 5 of disappointments in Philly sports. It's interesting because it might not 5 to 10 weeks from now be the number 1 disappointment ever for me, but on the flip side of the equation, if you really think about all the money that was spent on this team, all the expectations at the start of the season after last year, if you take into account everything, maybe it's underrated in the level. It might not be the number 1 disappointment, but it's gotta be up there in the top 5, Duck. I'm curious. I know it's a lot to type. Just give me 1 or 2 of the things maybe in the comments of what you think is bigger. I don't think I could put the 2011 team above it. I don't. I don't think I could put any of the Sixers teams or any of the Eagles teams. Well, maybe the Joe Jurevicius one. Some of those McNabb teams for sure. But it's got to be up there in 1, 2, or 3. Flyers aren't going to be up there in the top 5. The Sixers last year was devastating, but we had grown to get accustomed. I would say maybe the was it 2019, the Jimmy Butler, the Raptors loss in Game 7. That might be my top Sixers disappointment of all time. So that the Joe Jurevicius Eagles, and this might be my biggest Phillies one. That Tampa loss was number 1 for me. Yeah, I mean, and I get that. I get that. And if Eagles fall 1 on your team of the Philly teams, I get that. And I bleed green just like everybody else. But again, first tattoo, Phillies tattoo. The Phillies mean an awful damn lot to me. And this is a part of the stage of grief. I think of people, you know, that, life's short. That people you don't never know when you're gonna be around again. Like this could have been the last Phillies game for so many people. They came up small. I think of my dad. The fact that he never got to see another Phillies World Series win with us kids when he passed away, way too young. There's so much that goes into the disappointments. And the Phillies, I have such a connection with the Phillies. My dad took me to so many games at the vet, Sundays at the vet, all the time. Fanatic birthday parties, never missed one. Those cheesy ass hats they would give out. I wore them with pride. It's probably why I got beat up every day in school. But hey, I wore them with pride. I don't know. It's tough. It is tough. In order to deal with stages of grief and begin your journey, you must first put down the bottle. Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. A Kawhi shot for sure, man. That Kawhi shot still gives me nightmares, man. Really, really give me nightmares. And that was the best Sixers of the process era. That was the best Sixers team, without a shadow of a doubt. And they should have run it back. And I don't want to get into all that right now, but they should have ran it back. That was the best team. And I feel that the next year, if they ran it back with Butler, Harris, Reddick, we win the NBA championship the next year. But that was something. What about T.O. McNabb's Super Bowl? Yeah, I mean it's up there. The Joe Jurevicius Tampa Bay Buccaneers championship round was at '02. Was a little bit worse because that was actually a better team. It might not have had T.O., but that defense was insanely good that year. So that kind of ranks up there as the number 1 in Philadelphia Eagles fandom for us. Really thought we had it after Brian Mitchell had that big kickoff return. Still have that loss burned into my brain. Yeah, absolutely, and I do as well. Um, but That was still at the stage of the Eagles that they hadn't gotten to this. Like they hadn't proven at that time that they could win a big game yet. They hadn't proven that they can get to the Super Bowl yet. So it makes it a little different. Like this team proved, the Phillies team proved that they can get to the World Series. They made improvements to it. They bring in Trey Turner, Taiwan Walker. Man, what was Taiwan Walker even on this Phillies team for this playoff run? Like he didn't do anything. They never even tried to use him. Wasted a roster spot. You could have added an extra. I would have preferred Derek Call up, Cody Clemens up, Reese Hoskins, even with no playing since February. Anybody as a bench piece that you could have pinch hit for Rojas with the bases loaded in the fourth inning. Like literally anybody. But no. You got Taiwan Walker wasting a roster spot. And just standing in his hoodie on the top step cheering people on. Like really. So some of this goes on Dave Dombrowski as well. He's the one that built the team. He's the one that set the playoff roster. And he failed. I don't know what to tell you. He failed. This Phillies team failed. And they put me in a position to say that right now, and again, like I said, this is part of the stages of grief. This is part of the therapy that this right now is the worst moment that there is. Now, like I said, 5 weeks from now, maybe I'll think something differently. 5 days from now, maybe. But right now, this is the worst disappointment in Phillies fans for a Philadelphia sports fan. It is. Would you like to see the West Coast offense implanted into the Eagles offense? You really want me to talk Eagles football right now? Hurry. Do we really want to switch subjects right now? Yeah, I'd like a little bit of it. Some more quick passes, protect Jalen Hurts a little bit. Who knows how hurt Jalen Hurts actually is? Maybe, but I don't even know how to dissect it because that question because I'm too full of grief right now to talk Eagles right now. I am, and the Eagles do bring me so much joy, and I do have such high. And this is the problem. We it's so tough to be a Philly sports fan, and we're so used to disappointment. And just as much as this Phillies team, there was so much hype and potential and so much hope. The Eagles have all the same things. There's so much hype, potential, and hope for the Eagles, and I sure as hell hope it doesn't end in disappointment again. I do. Raider Eagles Super Bowl, Eagles Tampa Bay championship game, Phillies Yankees '09, Eagles Pats Super Bowl first one, Union Galaxy. You put the Union Galaxy MLS Cup ahead of last night's loss. That's interesting. Raiders Eagles Super Bowl. I wasn't alive for it yet. I was born till December 2020, so that was a no for me. Um, the Yankees '09 Phillies World Series. I actually agree that that's a bigger disappointment than the 2011 Phillies. I do. I really do. And the Eagles Pats first Super Bowl, yeah, it was really disappointing. It was the first time we got to, in our lifetime in the 21st century, see an Eagles Super Bowl. Definitely disappointed, but I can't put the Union Galaxy ahead of it. I would put the Union, what was it, the semifinals they lost the year before because of COVID, and 11 of their guys were out the day before the semifinals of the championship round. Maybe that would be higher on me. I don't know. Um, I don't like seeing you down like this. I feel for you, Phil. Look, I'm sorry. This is the way it goes. It sucks being a Philadelphia sports fan sometimes. It really, really, truly does. Hurts too soon. Man, there's so many play on words with Jalen Hurts right now. But yeah, I appreciate you feeling for me, man. But this is what happens when you get disappointed like this. And when you get disappointed so much on such a frequent level. Um, Add Frank Clark trade Barnett. What's that? The Eagles make a trade? I don't even know what's going on with that comment. Sorry. I'm paging Twitter, and then we trade Derek Barnett. I'm not sure. I'm lost on that one. Um, but maybe I missed something there. I'm not sure. I'm a soccer fan. The sport that my dad and I share. Union got there finally, and then missed out on a shootout. Yeah, it sucks losing on a shootout for a championship for sure. And I remember I was at my friend's house for a Halloween party during that last year. and it was pretty disappointing. But I guess I've gotten into soccer over the years. I'm not a super fan. I just thought it was more disappointing that they had to basically almost forfeit the playoff game the year before because of COVID stuff, an outbreak on the team. That would have disappointed me so much more. Um, but yeah, first and foremost, MLS needs to get rid of the penalty kick as a way to end the championship game. It just can't be the way you end a championship game. It just can't. So okay, so you're saying you want to add Frank Clark, Denver Broncos linebacker, um, for him. Okay, gotcha. I didn't know. I thought maybe you were saying that a trade already happened. I just was typing in Google to make sure I didn't miss some breaking news. Um, people are shitting all over Derek Barnett, especially yesterday. Like he's a waste, this and that. Trade him. He's actually been pretty good this year. He actually has been. People don't. I know he doesn't have any quarterback sacks, but he's been good against the run. He's playing like literally 10 snaps a game. If you trade him, you get an asset for him, sure, but he's not a requirement to trade. So Phillies, I felt overachieved. We were talking about how they sucked cheeks for weeks a few months ago. Yeah, but how do I phrase this the right way? They sucked cheeks what months ago, but they were underachieving. They didn't overachieve this year. They were supposed to be good. They have one of the highest payrolls in baseball. There are all-star players all over this team. There are future Hall of Famers all over this team. They came up small all year long. And like I said at the beginning of the show on that comment, the same problems they had all year reared their ugly head last night, the night before. And that's the problem. They're ugly. They reared their ugly head because when you make mistakes all year long, they catch up to you all year long. Okay. So they didn't overachieve. They underachieved all year and then got hot at the end, got into the playoffs, got hot in the playoffs to start. And then their underachieving mentality caught up to them again. So I think of it the opposite way than you, Eric, on that one. You can't control an act of God. This was a loss with it so close that you could taste it. I don't know. God must hate Philadelphia. Like, I don't know. Maybe the guy dressed up as Santa was like maybe God like in disguise trying to catch a football game, and we actually had thrown snowballs at Santa, but not Santa. It was actually God. I don't know. Um, he hates us. He tortures us on a regular basis. He does, and it sucks to be a Philadelphia sports fan. And God lets that happen. Kind of thing. Is there a God? If He lets us go through this much trouble on a yearly basis, that's just my opinion, Eric. I mean, I could be wrong on that. I don't think they overachieved. I think they underachieved all year. When you spend $300 million on a team in payroll, when you got multiple guys to $300 million contracts, you got a half a dozen guys making $25 million a year or more. You're expected to get to the World Series. You're expected to compete for a championship, not get into the wild card, not get hot at the right moment. You know, pretty sure I'm just kidding. Not trying to offend anybody with my God comments. My apologies. Um, Last one out, get the light, baseball wall, poor Phil. Yeah, I mean, this is it. I mean, we got 25 minutes left in this show. The last 5-10 minutes, I'm gonna put my power rankings up, talk something positive for a few minutes. But this is it. I mean, we'll dabble in baseball when things happen with free agency and stuff. I'm gonna try to plan a trip. I would love to go to Clearwater in February to see spring training. I haven't been down in a few years. But I'm not gonna talk baseball probably again. You know, till next calendar year. Pretty sure. You're laughing. I'm blaming somebody. I'm blaming another stage of grief, or maybe Philly is proof that God exists and He hates us. I think that's what it is. He hates us, and we don't care. I don't know. I don't know, guys. Stages of grief, guys. Don't bring up that drunk bastard dressed as Santa. That every national. Yeah, I know. I hate it. Never see. Yeah, I agree. Um, we got this bad reputation. We can't shake it. Um, I was just joking. I wasn't bringing it up as anything else. You can't win friends with baseball. I mean, we've had a few people watch. I'll say a shout out to everybody, the Core 12 and everybody. Yesterday was one of the highest viewed shows I've ever done without a big name guest on it. close to 300 people watched on YouTube. There were like 38 likes. We've only got 14 likes today. I know the Phillies don't help the algorithm. I know a lot of Phillies fans are down in the dumps. Man, what a morning here, guys. What a morning. I hate when any of our teams go into a 7 series and lose momentum. I never expect a game 7 win. What first and foremost, I can't believe that in 140 years the Phillies never had a game 7 in their history. That to me is crazy. And last night was the first game 7 in our history, and there was opportunities for any player on that Phillies team to become a legend. If you make the big hit in the first game 7 in the history of your team, you're a legend forever. And nobody could come up with the big hit. Bryce Harper, Nick Castellanos, Kyle Schwarber, Trey Turner. Guys, somebody had to do something big in a game 7 and no one did. Nobody. Too many letdowns. There's just been too many letdowns in our Philadelphia sports life fandom, period. Um, most of 12 hop and ship on baseball, Phil. I don't really, whatever. This is more, this show, I always say this show is for you people. This show is about you guys, where your opinions actually matter. Today is not. Today's show is about me. Clearing my thoughts, clearing my mind, getting over it. So tomorrow we can focus on the Sixers. Friday, we can focus on the Eagles, and we get back to a regular routine. That's right. Kevin Byard, baby. At least we got that to look forward to, right? Some of my best friends come from sneaking hot dogs and drinks into Sunday Phil's games in the nosebleeds at the vet. Yes, exactly. Look, we used to bring a cooler. We used to bring whatever we wanted into the vet back in the day. You'd buy tickets in the 700 level. By the fourth inning, you'd be in the 600 level. By the seventh inning, you'd be down in the lower deck, and you just slowly work your way down. I can't tell you how many games in the late 80s, early 90s that my dad took us to, because you used to be able to get tickets for $4 or $5 a pop on Sundays, and you didn't have to spend a boatload of money on concessions because you could bring things in. I still remember, I always talk duck, like one of my favorite memories as a Phillies fan. The first Saturday night game we went to, it was in 1991, because we were always a Sunday day game. But my dad worked all the time, so Sunday was the day to take us to games. We went to a Saturday night game for some reason. It was a late July night, and if you probably don't remember the name Kyle Abbott, it was the little brother of Jim Abbott, the one-handed pitcher. He was 1-14 that year for the Phillies. He had like a 600 ERA, but that one win was against the Dodgers on a July night, and I was at the game. And that place went nuts for him when he won his first game as a Philly there that night. And I still remember that. Sitting in the 700 level. Yeah. Don't crap on baseball. It's not fun to talk about on a daily basis of a 162 game season. Um, but baseball is a great sport. One of the greats. And like I said, I will always say my first tattoo, there we go. Phillies, Liberty Bell Telephone logo, right there. For honor my father and honor the Phillies. This show is about me. It is. This show is about me, not about you today. Sorry. That's just how I feel. Core 12's here for you, Phil. The trust fall. You want me to do the trust fall? Who out of the core 12, which one of the core 12 is the one that would pull away when I fall backwards on the trust fall? I really need to know who would be the one that would pull away on me. Because someone would. I don't know. If we were talking baseball, K1 would definitely pull away on me. I know Eric's got my back, and Man Chatter would have my back 110%. I don't know. I have a feeling that K1 would pull away if it was a day that we talked Phillies. Title of today is What About Phil? Yeah. What about Phil? What about Canyon? What about Phil? This is my therapy session and yours. I buy the cheapest by second. I'm lower deck. That's right. That's the way it used to be. It is. What about Raven? What about Phil? What about the Raven effect? We can't even be excited for Kevin Byard and the Eagles. I mean, I'll be back to being excited tomorrow. Hell, even later today. Hell, I should do another show later today. But no, can't. I can't. I can't be excited right now. I can't be positive right now. I don't even want to give my NFL power rankings for Week 8. I don't, because I just can't do it. today you in your feelings, ha ha ha. That was not your best joke of all time, Peanut. I'll just tell you. That was a weak effort from you right there. I'm just gonna say it. Don't even want to hear Schwarber come out to cult of personality for a start at bat. Look, again, everything's got to be changed. Everything's got to be changed. And he's got the best theme song, best walk up song. Him, but man, I don't want to hear it anymore. I know. I'll be the wind beneath your wings, Phil. Thank you. Thank you. You wouldn't pull away on me, Marshawn. We go too far back to the DSM days. You're one of the few that were my DSM follower that came over to PSN. Why do why every network I work for have like initials like that? Why can't I work for a network that has like a name? DSM, PSN, AATB. You know, I gotta find a network that has just a straight name. Um, whoa, a Canyon reference, dude. Chris Canyon, one of the most underrated wrestlers of all time. And if he didn't have demons, and if he was wrestling nowadays where your personal life doesn't matter as much, where people are more accepting, not everybody's accepting, but more accepting, he might have had a different career. But Chris Canyon was a super talented, super charismatic wrestler, and I was a huge fan of him in the WCW days. I was so excited when he came over to WWE, and they just ruined him, flat out ruined him, and actually probably contributed to his. I don't want to sound terrible by saying this, but some of his demons that caused him to commit suicide were probably part of WWE's fault and Vince McMahon's fault. Uh, used to be. Rankings tomorrow. Tomorrow's a Philadelphia 76ers season kickoff show. Got to talk Sixers. Whether we like it or not, the Sixers season starts tomorrow night against the Milwaukee Bucks. We got to dive into the Sixers team a little bit more deeply. What Tyrese Maxey, Pat Beverly, some of the new guys, Kelly Oubre, what Joel Embiid's going to look like, Nick Nurse and his system. Going to try to get some of the PSN guys on here tomorrow. The writers to dive deep with us on it. Peanut would be the guy, not me, that would pull away. Yeah, Peanut would pull away and put a bed of nails behind it and make me fall on the bed of nails. That's how I'm just going to say it. No, a hair on your beard will touch the ground. If you were there, Eric, I know it. But if Peanut was there, Peanut would not help me out. K1 maybe on a Phillies day wouldn't help me out. I don't know about Philings. Um, Eagles number one just makes me pessimistic about the future of this team. It's even hard to be positive about the Eagles today. Like it is. Like there's so much positivity on the Eagles, but I'm so down in the dumps that I can't even be positive about them today. My man. Liked Kidman. I was a big Billy Kidman. Didn't he hook up with Torrey Wilson? How did he score like that? My man, El Parcero. What is up, my man? I love seeing you pop into the comments section. You gotta you gotta be just as down in the dumps as I am, my man. You know, this is the morning. This is the morning show, not the morning MORNING show. The MOURNINGS show. This is therapy session for all of us to get over this because it absolutely sucks being a Philadelphia sports fan sometimes, without a shadow of a doubt. And we're here. We're here today getting over it so that we can get back to positivity tomorrow with the Sixers and the Eagles and stuff like that. But El Parcero, you are not the only one. And again, while you're in the thing, again, shout out. You're doing kick-ass work with PHL Philly there. I said that wrong. Whatever. You know what I'm saying. Great to see you making that big time right there, my man. Back to some of these comments here. Who better than Canyon? That's right. The Phillies aren't better than Canyon. Pound that like, better yet, get you a slice of pizza. That's right. Come see me today. If I saw you guys at the pizza shop today, that would cheer me up a little bit. Pizza shop information scrolling on the bottom of the screen. Since I got no sponsor, I'm sponsoring myself. That's how we do it. Oh, he did. Yeah. R.I.P. to Kishane. The Bucks will beat the snot out of the Sixers. Yeah, I don't feel good about the first game for the Sixers. It's going to be a work in progress. I know my man Scotty over at DSM thinks that they're going to be much better than we think, but it's going to be a work in progress at the start of the season. As long as the James Harden stuff's hanging over the heads, it's good. It's going to be tough. I would catch you, then roll one up, or take a shot with you. Pick your poison. Chris Canyon singing, "Do you really want to hurt me?" was the most. Yeah, absolutely. All accurate, except I think you would drop me. I think you would drop me. I don't think. I think you would be the first one to not catch me in a trust fall, Peanut, without a shadow of a doubt. Marshawn, Eric, they're my number one guys. They would save me. El Parcero would save me as well, without a shadow of a doubt. Um, D-backs had the balls. We left ours in Atlanta. Maybe we did. I really do think that the Phillies. I really do think the Phillies. They start to smell themselves. They didn't think they could be beat, and I think they just rolled over and said that the Diamondbacks would roll over and play dead for us, and they did. And that's why we're where we're at today. That is why it took us this long to make this pun. It's taken us a lot of time here without a. Did I say it again? Damn it! I didn't even hear myself say it. Damn. God damn. I'm trying. I'm trying. I'm gonna make a note. I'm gonna put a big piece of tape up here on my desk here. Got a little overhang on my desk here that says "Don't say" without a shadow of a doubt. Did I say it? Man, how do you make? How did that make you feel with Schwarber stunk it up? All the people that stunk it up made me feel terrible. Remember Glacier? Yeah, they had or the Shockmaster. How about the Shockmaster? My coffee tastes like defeat. It's really. I made a big pot of coffee this morning. I have a coffee pot, makes 12 cups at a time. I normally make about 8 or 9 cups in the morning. I made a full pot this morning, and it's half gone already. It is. Sponsored by Fox's Pizza. Need to stop buying, dude. Absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah, I need something for my tears. Because of how much Jack Daniels I drank last night. I can't drink any more tonight. I need to give myself a break. But man, I need something for my tears tonight. I do. I kind of knew this Phil's team didn't have the magic. Too many free agent mercenaries. It's a great point, Mister. Sometimes you see it. Sometimes that mercenaries don't always win. You got to have a build within, build from within kind of thing. Maybe a little bit more passion. You know, we talked about it earlier. I forget who it was. Somebody said that this team overachieved this year, and I say no, they underachieved because you had all these big free agent, mercenaries. This team should have won a World Series. This should have been one of the best teams in baseball, and they weren't because they underachieved. Disco Inferno. How about Norman Smiley and the Big Wiggle? If you want to go for jobbers in WCW back in the '90s, yeah, I know Norman Smiley. Iris by Goo Goo Dolls on repeat today. Yeah, maybe I got to go that way. Maybe I do. Talk about late '90s Iris, man. Peanut would turn your trust fall into an RKO. Yeah, he might. He really might. Peanut would catch you. I got you, buddy. Flip you around. Boom. DDT. Man, Peanut, you're not getting any love from the comments on Twitter or on YouTube today. What's a good In My Feels song? Tracks of My Tears. It is the greatest song written ever. There's so much more. It's a breakup song, but it's so much more than that. By the great Smokey Robinson, one of the greatest songwriters of all time. And if you don't know Tracks of My Tears, it's basically a song about putting a smile on your face, even though deep down inside, you're really sad. And when I get to work today at 11 o'clock or open the doors at 11 o'clock, I'm going to put a smile on my face for the first customer. But deep down inside, there's going to be a pit in my stomach of depression. Smokey Robinson, Track of My Tears, made famous by Platoon. It was a great song before Platoon came out, but it was made famous in Platoon. That scene when they're all smoking the ganja in their little bunk, after a battle. Um, that song is all about feels right there and how you feel. You did without a shadow of a doubt. I guess I did. Well, now it's soccer season, brother. Start Saturday, man. You're crushing the soccer coverage, and I won't lie. Um, my soccer and union coverage has dropped off. Being on Apple and not on regular TV has really disappointed me, and I think really slowed the momentum of the union and also MLS. El Pocho. I'll get you on whenever the first playoff game is. If it's Saturday, then maybe Monday. Maybe I can get you on here, JP. Talk a little union. That week, damn it. and frustrated punch made me laugh out loud. Oh, at least somebody's laughing. Without a shadow of a doubt, merch soon. Yeah, maybe. I'm going to rewatch your shows on Friday and play the without a shadow of a doubt drinking game. You won't go to work then. I'm not. I'm not going. I'm not saying you shouldn't say without a shadow of doubt. It should be a drinking game or something. I don't realize I say it. And after you said that like a couple days ago, I've been trying not to say it, but yet I still say it and don't know I say it. I hate Corbin Carroll. Yeah, that little something right there for sure. Um, he's going to be the rookie of the year, and I don't even know who he is. Um, Dolphins fans tears. Oh, the refs. Yeah, they complained about the refs. They submitted things. Uh, Picklebacks. That is a drink that makes you suffer as much as you are currently suffering. I don't know what that is. Except it's 9 a.m. It's not 9 a.m. It's 9:21. And I can't believe we are at 9 minutes from this show ending. I can't believe that we got through it. Almost. The Big Wiggle, man. Do you remember the Big Wiggle? I remember the Big Wiggle. I thought Norman Smiley was the funniest little freaking whatever in the world when he would come out and wrestle. Philo will trade everyone and rebuild if they don't bring back the manager. I don't know what's going to happen with Rob Thompson. I really don't. I think it's an interesting question. I think it's an interesting topic. Um, I don't know. I don't want to make rash decisions on what I want to do with this team. I need to. I need to get out of my feelings first, and then we could discuss it. I need to do the big wiggle on my. I'm gonna take that off the screen right there. That's so hilarious. At least you guys are making me laugh a little bit now. Where do broken hearts go? By Whitney Houston. Just made the list. Hold on. Just made the list. See, I could put wrestling references into pretty much everything we do. Um, Something in the way. I hurt myself today. Um, Tracks of My Tears is a great song. I'm so listening to it after this call. It is so my Sirius XM alerts. I have a lot of bands and musicians, wide range of people. But Tracks of My Tears is one of the few songs that's alert set to an alert. So whenever it comes on any channel, it instantly pops up on my thing. Um, it gets me, man, every time. It could go so many different ways, that song. It could be about a breakup. It could be about I think it's a song about depression to an extent. You know, it speaks to me in so many different levels. It's one of the greatest songs ever written without a shadow of a doubt. I just said it right there. I long for the day we can laugh about this moment. I don't know if I'll ever laugh about the moment, but, we'll get over the moment to an extent. When the Eagles play on Sunday and whoop ass on the Washington Commanders, we'll be thinking about that. When the Sixers win their first game, not on Thursday night. We'll be talking about Dan. I'm gonna have to do some soul searching today. We all have to do some soul searching. I got you, man. I'll hook you up. Um, we'll talk some Union next week without a doubt. See, I didn't put the word shadow in there. That's right, dude, my man. Uh, Inside Phil will be Ben Stiller crying something about Mary, and I haven't seen something about Mary in ages. Phil, make an effort to learn soccer players. I was watching and learning soccer. I would have El Parcero on the show every every month or so formally. But once MLS went to Apple TV, I stopped watching because I don't get Apple TV, and I'm not paying for it. I'm just not. I'm not going to get a channel like Apple TV just for soccer games. Like I just can't do it. Um, Tears in Heaven, Eric Clapton, the one of the greatest guitar players of all time. On my list of top 3 concerts I never got to go see is Eric Clapton, and he doesn't really perform anymore, so I'll never get to see him. I would have loved to have seen Eric Clapton live. Were Phillies partying after the game last night? I hope the hell they weren't. If they were, get them out of my city. I hate that the broadcast team kept saying eventual rookie of the year. Yeah, I know. Like the votes haven't been counted yet. Stop the vote now. He's already the rookie of the year. Smile. Um, Graduation song by Vitamin C. I need to function today, man. I think Phil has gotten close to accepting, boys. I might have accepted it. Nah, not really. If you think I've accepted it, you've made the list. That's all I'll say. Pickleball shot is Jameson with a shot of pickle juice as a chaser. Yeah, I've never been a Jameson fan, so maybe that's why I haven't tried it. But I'll try it. I don't mind giving new things a try. Will you buy it for me, Doug? Come meet me at my local bar and buy me a pickleback, and we'll do it. We'll do it together. We'll get over it. We'll accept this Phillies loss if we do a pickleball shot together. Smiley should have went to the King. I don't know if he did anything. I know he's producer somewhere. A list of Phils. Let's go. Hopefully, this will be our last morning show, so you can. So you had a bad day. Yeah, drink. Yeah, I mean, I really need to not drink. I need to slow down on that. And the Phillies outdone probably stops that. Christmas shoes. That song will never not make me cry. On the verge. Cross over to acceptance. Phil, don't do stream. I did the stream. I think I deserve major props for doing this stream this morning. I think I deserve major props for doing this stream and making it through a 90-minute stream, a 90-minute therapy session. I wish I teleport the tea time and crumpets 12 to Phil and we hug him and trust fall catch him to Trail in My Tears song before the shop opens. Yes, I need you all, guys. And we won't see Andrew Painter till 2025. Who else do we have in our farm system? Mick Abel, I guess. Gatorade and fried chicken cures a hangover, bro. Takes it from a known alcoholic. Yeah, a lot does. A lot does. Don't buy streams for sports. I don't. I don't. Props to you, Phil, for doing your job. I'm kidding. Hella respect. I mean, it's a job, sort of. I mean, I don't make that much money doing this. It's not. I barely could buy a couple bottles of Jack on the money I make doing this. So, it's not like it's a real job. Um, but yeah, it wasn't something I wanted to do. I really wanted to stop it. I really wanted to skip it. But I'm here for you guys. Here, real quick. We'll close the show like this. We'll leave you with a tease. Yes, we'll do Sixers tomorrow. We'll also talk a little Eagles tomorrow, and then we'll do a lot of Eagles. Maybe I'll save it and put it up again on Friday's show. Here are my Eagles NFL power rankings um, for this week. Eagles number 2, Chiefs 1, 49ers still 3, Dolphins 4, Ravens 5, Jags 6, Browns 7, Seahawks 8, Lions 9, Cowboys 10. Bills fell out of the top 10, disgracefully losing to the Patriots yesterday or on Sunday. Falcons, Bengals are our French teams as well. That's it. That's all I got. I'm just gonna take it down. And I need something, man. I need it. The therapy you got today was invaluable beyond a doubt. We're just gonna say a doubt. Phil, this is the cheapest therapy any of us can have. What I'm doing it for. This therapy is free. Unless you drop a $500 super chat, this therapy is free. That's what it is. Free therapy. Can we hold the Sixers talk and get excited for Kevin Burns? No, tomorrow is the start of the Sixers season. I wouldn't be a Philadelphia sports morning show host if we didn't give the Sixers one day of attention. We haven't talked about them all camp or off season. Got to give them a little attention. It doesn't have to be the full 90 minutes. We got to talk Sixers a little bit tomorrow. Great show. We all cried together. Pina, I was a little hard on you today. I'm sorry. I don't know if you would totally drop me. You might catch me, then DDT me, like they said, or RKO me, but you would catch me. It's officially football Eagles season, and Sixers season, and Flyers season. It's all the season still. Phil, thanks for the therapy. My therapist never understands the feeling of sports. Absolutely. The Flyers are 6 games in. Yeah, they've won 3 games already. Go figure. Go figure. Let's do a Philadelphia Philly sports power ranking. The Phillies are 5 right now. Eagles, Sixers, Flyers, or Eagles Union, Flyers, Sixers, Phillies. That's the power rankings right now. We'll go back to a colorful screen tomorrow as well. I won't have a screen all in black tomorrow for my depression. Guys, we're going to wrap up this shebang right here. We're going to call it quits for the day. Well, we got to the full hour and a half anyway. If you're watching this on replay, this therapy session on replay, hit that like button, share button, subscribe button. If you haven't liked it already, only 16 likes. 4 on Facebook. Guys, you guys want some Flyers orange? Here. It's not just Flyers orange. It's Halloween orange as well. There you go. I'll change the color to orange for the end of the season. It's Orange October. Yeah, Eagles and everybody else I no longer care about. Go Birds, that's right. Wake me up when October ends. Absolutely. I want October to end so badly right now. Guys, y'all have a great day. For Philadelphia Sports Network, I am Phil Stiefel. Trending the game. Like, share, subscribe, follow, whatever it is. To do it, we'll be back tomorrow, 8 a.m. Sixers preview, some Eagles talk, whatever else is happening. I'm done. No more Phillies talk for at least 12 minutes. Guys, have a great day. For Philadelphia Sports Network, I'm Phil Stiefel. Go Birds.